It's a new year. The best bowlers in Canada have gathered once again. Their quest to win the largest prize in Canadian bowling history. This all points to another smashing series. Last year, Winnipeg's Willie Orne faced an awesome challenge. He met Hamilton's Michael Bates for the championship. Bates hoped to be the first two-time winner. Orne kept the pressure on with key shots. He was pumped up and confident. And the pins fell his way. So did the title, much to the delight of the hometown fans. Welcome to the Roxy Lanes in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I'm Ernie Affiganis with Bill Douglas. We're all set to bring you play in the 13th Canadian 5-Pin Bowling Championship. And Bill, it seems every year it gets tougher to qualify, even tougher to win.
Well, it's tough to win, Ernie, no question, but it's really difficult to get out of your province. There's over 100 competitors at the provincial level, 15 games of intense competition.
16 bowlers qualified. Of that 16, 10 are rookies. Is that significant?
Not really. In our 12 previous champions, 6 have won it as rookies.
And we have 2 former champions, so there could be a double winner here.
Of course, we have our defending champion, Willie Orne from Winnipeg, back again. We also have our 1990 champion, Sean Wells from Newfoundland here.
Okay, about that first match, it's going to be a good one. Tell us about it.
Well, it really is. We've got Gino Zebarth from Alberta, 13-year veteran. He's got lots of match play and tournament experience. He's deadly accurate, and he can throw a ton of strikes. And he's up against Roger Quirion from Shearwater, Nova Scotia. Former Winnipegger, not a lot of match play experience, but he's accurate as well.
And that's going to be a very strong match. We have a second one coming up, and that one features the defending champion, Willie Orne from Winnipeg, a local boy. This is Willie's 3rd appearance in the series, and this could be the first repeat winner. Willie plays Hank Forder, a rookie in the series, who returns to the game in a big way after a 10-year layoff. Hank is from Carlisle, Saskatchewan. And this is the largest purse in Canadian bowling, a total of $50,000. Every participant shares in the money, and the winner will take away $27,000. The more matches you win, the more money you take home. For bowlers, you got to hit the marks, think about it, keep smooth, forget the cameras, the hot lights, people staring at you, stay calm.
Gino Zebarth up first, Ernie, here. He gets 1 ball, 1 frame, and then Roger will get up and throw 2.
Gino's 38 years old. He's a telecommunications electrician. He's been bowling for about 14 years or so. It's good experience. Oh, off the head
He
pin.
came to the game sort of late in life. He doesn't have as much experience as a lot of these other players, but what he does have over the last couple of years, he's participated in a huge number of big events. Cash tournaments, Canadian 5-Pin championships.
Yeah. Good pickup. Yeah, he told me that since qualifying, he kept up playing in very strong tournaments in order to keep his, just keep himself pumped up. And he's the kind of guy that is pumped up most of the time, isn't he? He's just got a lot of energy.
He's real excited. We should see some animation from him, as opposed to Roger. He's a little more quiet. A little different style with Roger, too. He's very smooth with it. He's a 3-step, throws a hook. He's got a little different arm swing.
The quiet man is an instructor in the Canadian Armed Forces. And got it. So they both start with a spare in the first frame after missing the head pin. Good pickup.
A little bit of nerves for both of them, maybe, on that first ball.
I would think so. After all, the television lights are very difficult to handle. But this is the second appearance for Zebarth, the first here for Roger. He knew right away, didn't he? Oh, he looks back and he picks up that corner pin.
We've talked about it. With these bowlers, as soon as the ball crosses their spot, that target that's 15 feet away, they know they've got to get a chance to strike. Threw a good ball there, just a little bit of a bad reaction, leaving up that right corner pin.
That was interesting because he yelled yes just after the ball passed the mark. And then when he turned away from it, he thought he had it, and then he found the corner still standing, and he missed an opportunity to fill there. So he'll have a chance to pick up only 15. That is the full pack without a fill. He gets 28 in the first. So tough break there. He missed the corner pin. And this time he missed it again.
Looked like he was a little bit quick both on the spare shot and the attempt at covering up 15. Majority of these players, they're going to shoot the corner pins cross lane, so they make the target effectively quite large.
But that corner on the right, for a person who throws the backup, is a bit easier that he had to go cross court, wouldn't it?
Well, Roger's a hook bowler, so the ball's breaking into the pin from the gutter side, so it makes it a little bit more difficult.
Okay. Ooh, punched it through. What type of ball would you say that Gino is playing here? He says backup, but it seems almost straight.
He gets more end-over-end roll, and a lot of the what happens with the bowling ball depends on how much oil's out on the lane and how fast these players throw it.
Oh, got it! What a great spare shot, Ernie. Yeah. Now the crowd really appreciates it. They know they're bowling. That is a very difficult spare. He got a kickback, but it worked.
He gets a great bounce off the pin cushion and goes right into the corner pin.
Oh, what
and he knew he had a chance.
Yeah. If you catch that, well, if you catch either one of them on the right side the right way, you can get the good backup shot, which you got there. But we've had the aces spared here, too. Remember? Pat Pinko years ago got that spare on aces. Now, that is difficult. This is not quite that difficult, but almost.
It's still a low percentage
You
spare.
bet. You bet it is.
Now he's got to come back and make a good shot here and try and get a strike.
On the head pin, yeah. Took advantage of that spare, didn't he?
He really did. And that can be the difference in a match sometimes, is whether they take advantage of the breaks. And there was no question about that strike. He was dead in the pocket.
You know, as Roger Quirion comes on now to play, he has 41 in the second frame. And we're looking above on the scoreboard. See, the Zebarth has a strike with 53 in the second. So at this stage, it's early. It's in the first third of the match. He has to get a fill. He can't blow on here or take only 10 or 12 hits. A little bit of a problem.
Nothing major, Ernie. Because they're bowling 2 frames at a time, they've got to be careful. They've got to make sure they get up on the right lane, then the left lane for their second frame.
And it can be confusing when you're really zeroing in on scoring here. He's on it again. Did he? Oh, missed the comeback there.
Another good ball by Roger. He's just not getting the reaction out of that 3-pin. Have a look at the replay here. You can see the 3-pin goes into the channel, and it just laid down for him.
Well, if he can spare up here, that would make a big help to him. And has he got it? Yeah. He turned away immediately. He knew he had it. He had it right on line.
Once again, as soon as it crosses the target, they know they've made the spare or hit the head pin.
So, as you can see, that spare did help out Roger Quirion because he matches a fill at the top there by Gino Zebarth, who had a strike. Not as valuable, but still keeps him in the running, keeps this match fairly close.
He's 12 pins down. He's got to get some strikes here.
Boy, he's having tough breaks, isn't he? Blowing it by that corner pin.
He may have made an adjustment there on the corner pin he left in the previous frame. He was in the left-hand pocket. This time he changed pockets, and he ended up with the opposite corner pin, the left corner this time.
Good pickup. He's had some tough pickups to make under the gun, and he's made them. Boys back at the Shearwater Center at CFB Shearwater will be very proud of what he did there. And they're pretty proud of Gene Zebarth at the Western Lanes in Wetaskiwin and the Windsor Lanes in Edmonton. As he sets up now, he is working on a strike. This is his 4th frame. And right now, it's a very close match. Got it.
Ooh, a little bit thin that time by Gino. The ball, because he throws a backup, the ball's movement on the lane is left to right. And you can see he catches the head pin just a little bit thin. Ball goes in behind the corner pin.
He bowls about 20 games a week now. You know, you've been in the business, you know exactly what. Is that a lot for a bowler?
Not of this caliber. He probably throws another 20 or 30 games a week in practice when he's getting ready for a big event.
Gotcha. Good spare on his strike, so he gets a good count on that one. And after 4, well, let's see, he has 83 and 3 and a spare in the 4th. Again, close match of about 14-point spread here. This could go right down to the last ball, really. Okay.
Oh, it does. Gino's got a little bit different approach than most. He's really a 2-step bowler with a little bit of a shuffle at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Another great shot. The left-hand pocket that time, the ball breaking into the pocket, and he gets great coverage.
In 1990, he competed in our CBC series in the winter. We had 2 series that year. And he bowled pretty well in the final, in the semifinal, but went away with $2,500. So he has won one in this, and he knows what to do. And this man, Roger Quirion, again, I can't believe that. He's had a corner pin, or he has, well, just one time he missed the center, and the rest of the time he's had corner pins that he's picked up.
He's hit the head pins the last 4 frames in a row. He's left corner pins. He's going to have to make an adjustment because he's got to have some strikes.
Well, he's on it. But what adjustment would he make there, though?
Depends on the kind of ball you throw, whether you make an adjustment.
Welcome back. We joined the second match at the halfway mark. Defending champion Willie Orne has a streak going of 3 strikes, but Hank Porter can't get one going. He's been on the head pin, but hasn't had good results. And as Willie Orne looks on, Porter is trying to turn this thing around, Bill.
Well, the pressure's squarely on Hank's shoulders, Ernie. He's got to make an adjustment and solve the head pin problems he's had on that right-hand lane. His left-hand lane, he's had 2 strikes. Now, that's his first miss on the left-hand lane. So whatever adjustment he's made, he's got to be careful. He needs a spare here to stay in this match.
And if you have to adjust often, you don't always hit the right adjustment. Let's see that again. That's a spare for him. The first kill since number 4 or number 3. No, number
Nice,
4.
smooth 4-step approach. No forced backswing. Great head position. And you can see his arm swing. He's right beside his leg as he comes through. Good follow-through.
Yeah, that's a good-looking, very, very nice delivery. Willie Orne in complete control at the moment because he's going into his 6th. Gino, who won in the opening match, will meet the winner here. It looks like it's going to be Willie Orne. So Gino Zebarth is giving him the hand. The 2 old buddies will meet, probably, because now Willie Orne is on 4 strikes, working on a double with 150 in the 4th. Ooh, this is jumping out there, isn't it?
He's on a roll. He's going to be tough to beat.
Yes.
He really wants to come back and defend. Nobody's ever done it before.
And he's coming in the peak of his game. You know, you can lose it over a period of weeks in a tournament. But, got a break there. That was heavy.
But right now he's getting such great roll and great lift. That's Willie's wife, Linda, and his father-in-law.
Yeah, they're pretty happy with the way Willie's going here. 4, let's see, a total of 5 strikes, 6 strikes. Wow, 6 strikes for Orne. Wow. Hank Porter here is on a spare. And he's on the head pin. Good move. Nicely done.
And that's that right-hand pocket. That's the best spot for Hank.
Sometimes you find the right connection at the wrong time or at the late time, but that was well done. There you can see that both players have a strike in 7, but at the top you see 5 straight strikes there by Willie Orne. Wow, 195 after 5 and still 2 to come. Oh, just touched the center pin, just touched it.
And that one could be just a function of speed. Again, you speed the ball up a little bit, it slides further down the lane. And you can see he just barely touched the head pin.
Yeah, he just rolled the rubber a shade there. Okay. He needs to count them all now to get the big count on the strike, and he does. Now, he's not quitting, that's for sure. 158 after 7, spare in the 8th. And Willie Orne with lots of support here in Winnipeg at the famous Roxy Lanes as he is in command and wanting to get ahead here and make sure that he can lock it up early. He doesn't want to have any hangout here where he can give a guy a chance to get in. Oh, a heavy shot. Now, that is a break.
Well, again, the way Willie's throwing the ball, he's got such great roll on it that he's breaking up these things that look very thick.
Now, you mentioned to me before that the orange ball is a rubber ball. Willie loved that, didn't he?
He did. It's got a more porous surface.
When you hit it thick there, as he did, does the rubber ball make a difference in the spread?
No, not really. It's a function of the angle you enter the pocket at and how much rotation is on the ball and the speed.
Oh, he's got 6 in a row. Another one! Whew. Isn't that impressive? Wow!
Willie Orne, Ernie, has a possible 420.
That's incredible.
3 strikes in the 10th frame. That would be our first ever 400 on championship 5-pin bowling.
Sir, and the leader there, of course, is Ken Norris from Calgary, Alberta, who shot 386. And Here's Hank. And he doesn't get that kickback at all, does he?
No, he's really had a lot of tough breaks.
Gosh, he's kind of enjoying it now, saying, what, again? Good guy. Nice personality, and he'll be back. Willie, you're doing great as you look on here. Just outside. So in his first appearance, Hank Porter didn't play as well as he would like to, but I'm not sure he could handle this barrage by Willie Orn.
Tough competition.
Tough competition on a day like this. Well, he leaves the corner there and then has to pick up a total of 15. He's 201 after 9, so his maximum is 246. And you can see the 201 in 9 there for Hank. But on top, look at this spread from the third on. It's been strikes for this man, Willie Orn. He's only had a spare in 1 frame a second. The rest have been strikes.
He's hit the head pin 8 times, and he's got 8 strikes.
Wow.
Good percentage.
Yeah. Incredible. Now, good spare here would help. His maximum now could be 231. Not missed the side. So Hank Porter will finish out. He's from Carlisle, Saskatchewan. It was nice to have him with us. Good personality. The 44-year-old bowler says he feels like he's a 30-year-old. He'll be back again, I think. I think he'll be back. He has a good attitude about all this.
He really does.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why he took a rest for 10 years.
That's right. 316 is his total. So after a rest of 10 years, as you say, a comeback, and he made it to this Canadian Championship final, the 5-pin championship, and I'm sure he'll get the bug and stay in there and hang in it. All right, Willie Orn with 1 frame left. He has a total of 7 strikes in a row. He could be over. He's on it. Oh, the dreaded head pin. And then he chipped one out. Oh,
Didn't get away with the stick hit that time, Ernie. Looked like he laid the ball down a little bit. The crowd very appreciative anytime anybody takes a run at a 400
oh, yeah.
game.
323 after 8. So, strike there would have put him very close to, almost got that spare. Almost slid that 3-pin across. So his strike on 9 will earn him a total of, let's see, a total of, what, 351 or whatever he picks up here. So Willie Orn, 15 on the final frame. His score is 366. So the defending champion has let it be known that he is out to defend the title and be the first one ever to do so. Well, he was magnificent. 366 is the second best score ever in the series. Hank Porter ran into a hot Willie Orn today. Orn had strikes from the 3rd frame to the 9th. He's going to be tough to beat. Gino Zebarth gets his chance at Willie when we come back on Championship 5-Pin Bowling. Welcome back to the Roxy Lanes in Winnipeg, Manitoba. We're all set for the final match and the right to go to the finals, and this is how they got there. Gino Zebarth defeated Roger Quirion 306 to 210 to make his match, and then Willie Orn, the defending champion, eliminated Hank Porter of Carlisle, Saskatchewan with a brilliant score of 366 to 216, and he made it to the final. Willie Orn will be the first man up. As we said, he had such a brilliant game coming in here. He had strikes, a total of 8 strikes in that match.
He did, Ernie. One of the things we're going to have to watch for in Willie's game, the last 3 frames, the 8th, 9th, and 10th, he was extremely thick. See if he made an adjustment and get away from that.
He's on it. Boy, he hits that head pin all the time.
He was really accurate.
Yeah.
Good player. You know, and this is the biggest thing to guard against. You get some adrenaline going. You change the delivery just a little bit. We don't want to see head pins.
And he's just punched out that pin straight ahead, too. So he'll make some sort of an adjustment here. The first frame is when you have to do it. Get all the bad ones out or the adjustments out or in. Oh, good pickup. Got that bounce back in. That's the second time we've seen that action. Once for a spare, and this time for 15. Okay. Gino Zebarth will take over for 2 frames. While the starter, Willie Orn, just had the 1. Zebarth had 306 in his frame. And he did very well in his opening match, I thought.
He did. He struggled a little bit on this right-hand lane.
This one?
But in the 10th frame, he shot 3 strikes in a row. So I thought he maybe had that lane solved. That shot, it looked like he just got a little bit too quick.
Ooh, I thought he might miss that, but good pickup. So he gets a spare in his first frame. I like him. He's a nice guy to deal with. He has a good attitude. He's quite a jokester. And he just loves the bowl. He loves competition. He loves to be involved. This is his thing.
He lives for it, and he learned and he watched 2 of Alberta's best. He took some lessons and watched a guy by the name of Mark Jackson and another one by the name of Bruce Mortar. They helped him out when he was just learning the game and getting into the big-time competition.
Good pickup. Ooh. So he starts fair and strike and immediately sets the tone for this one because Willie Orange started with 15 on the first. Now let's see if Willie makes some adjustments. Yeah, he liked that, didn't he?
Oh, he did. That's been his good lane. He had 3 strikes in that left-hand lane in the first match and a strike here. So he's got it solved.
Now he's on it. Ooh, almost got the kickback from behind. It wouldn't be surprising if he gets a few of those. He might get frustrated because everything went well in the first match.
Well, he carried a lot of very thick hits in the first game. And that's what you kind of worry about, you know. If you make any little bit of change, it goes from being a thick strike to a head pin or a split.
Has he got it? No. Ooh, he doesn't like that. I can just hear what's going on here. That rotten corner pin.
Well, again, one of the dangers of having such a great game like that 366, he never had the opportunity to shoot any corner pins.
He's cleaning up pretty well, though. He picked up everything. And he has 30 after 2. Now he has to get going because Gino Zebarth has the jump.
Well, Willie's dug himself a big hole here right off the bat. He's going to have to come back with some strikes.
All right. He's a pretty short starter here. He doesn't have big strides.
No, for a big, tall guy, he has a very short approach.
Wow.
Once again, he crossed over the head pin, but he's still a little bit thick, and he's not getting the reaction like he got that first game.
Look at this start, Bill. You got a head pin. Left corner, right corner, and missed the roll back there. Wow. Tough start. Still time, though. Still time for a bowler of his caliber to come back. There's a spare. Now, that's a start. And he knows it, too.
And he's shown us that he can run a lot of strikes.
Definitely.
And Gino knows that. He's seen him in competition before. They actually bowled each other a couple of years ago in a big major tournament. Gino happened to win that one.
Boys back in Millet, Alberta. Western Lanes in Wetaskiwin and the Windsor Lanes in Edmonton. About 40 miles or so apart there. He bowls them both. And he's on a strike. And just a little too light on the head pin there.
Again, he got a little bit quick. Yeah. And so what happens? The ball doesn't break. And Gino's back up. That time he was thin on the left-hand side.
Yeah, speed makes all the difference. Like golf. If you hit it too hard, it just won't take the break. So it's the same thing, isn't it?
It is. Speed's critical in this game.
Looks good from here, yeah. So he keeps filling with a spare in 3. A total of 60 in the second frame, as you can see. He's filled every frame at the bottom there. On top, Willie has a spare in the 3rd. So he's just starting to make waves here. But it's Gino who has one more frame to go, his 4th, before Willie Orange gets a chance to come back.
He's back up on Gino's back up on the left-hand lane. He's had 4 consecutive strikes on this left-hand lane. See if he continues.
Ooh, boy.
Once again, he did a little bit of a dance there, getting up onto the approach that frame, and sometimes you don't, that has an effect on him. Willie doesn't pay any attention to the opposition.
No.
Just concentrating on his own game.
He's just thinking. Well, he knows that Gino has to pick things up like he did in the first 2 frames. Actually, that really levels out the game because now who knows what happens.
As they say, he's left the door open.
You bet, he's left the door. Good pickup. Good pickup. You always have to pick those pins up in disappointment, don't you? You force yourself to really get serious because you say, too bad.
But these guys have both been in lots of big-time competition, and they know that even cleaning up a head pin can be critical for the end result.
Definitely. You don't want to waste any pins. Down it again, and again, he has trouble. Look at this record up on top. Head pin, left corner, left corner.
Willie's changed something. Last game, he was thick in the right-hand pocket. The last couple of frames, he's been in a left-hand pocket. So something's changed a little bit in his game. I haven't quite picked it up yet. That's why he's leaving corner pins and not carrying the strikes like he was in the first game.
Good spare there. He knew right away, as soon as he released the ball, he got his mark and it was on line. So he has a fill in 4. Now, if he can get a strike on top of this, he's moved to within about, well, let's see.
7 pins.
7 pins,
down with a
in the
strike here,
4th. So this is a very big ball for him to even it up. Oh, got it out to the side. And see, when you miss the first ball and the thickness there, you lose points in counting with a spare instead of a strike.
Have a look at this replay, and we'll see if we can pick anything up. Everything looks the same. The only thing I did notice, it looks like he's getting the ball a little bit further down the lane on that first ball.
Ooh, good job. Okay, we have a close game, no question about it. But 17 points difference after 4, but Willie has a spare in 5, and now Gino Zibar comes into play his 5th as he has reached the halfway mark. Pretty close match. I don't think you could really pick anyone at this point because I think it might go down to the last couple of frames. Oh, my goodness.
So that's tough on Gino.
2 in a row.
2 head pins back to back.
Yeah. I can hear the boys in the background, his supporters saying, come on, pick it up. Don't leave anything on the lane. As you said, the cheapest pin, if you want to put it that way, is 2 points, right? That could certainly win you a match.
Well, it can. It can be the difference between winning and losing. But Gino's going to have to make an adjustment. That's 2 head pins in a row. Yeah. He's done something different. Either it's a speed or just the location.
Okay, now it's the other side. He cleans it up. Both players have done well in that regard. They've been making all the pins under adversity. Okay, look at this. After 5, 110 for Zibar at his halfway point. 2 head pins in a row. At the top, it's Willie Orm with 78 in the 4th, but a spare in the 5th. All right. Now we're into the second half of the game for Zibar here. Working on nothing. Trying to get a strike going here. Oh, my goodness. How could you?
That was a tough shot. Again, that backup, and it crosses over the head pin, and he gets it a little bit thin. See the 3-pin go inside, the head pin go up over and around it.
Now he's struggling. I mean, he's struggling there with head pins and corner pins, but he's fighting back. As we said before, I don't think he gets disappointed or backed up on things like this. He'll go after everything. And another fill there. Yeah, another fill-up, I should say, getting all 15. Off of 2 head pins and off of this, he was able to do it. Good for him. That's good hard work.
And the big thing in a match like this, Gino's now had 3 open frames right here in the middle. He's left the door really wide open for Willie. Strike here in the 6th for Willie gets him within 2 pins.
And he's working on a spare here. He's on it, but, oh, my goodness.
No, he didn't like the looks of that one the moment
he turned away, didn't he? Yeah. Well, both players are terrific bowlers, no question about it, but they both rolled over 300 in their first match, but here in the second, having difficulties with corner pins and head pins.
It's one of those you take it, no, I'll take it kind of games.
This can be spared, though, but not with that one.
Well, that's 2 balls in a row Willie hasn't really been very happy with, and he knew it as soon as they left his hand.
Think he's working too fast? Hard to say. Hard to say how you feel at the time. Well, he got the largest number of pins on the right side and gets a total of 13. Now he's at 114. So now we see number 6 frame. There's a total of, let's see, 11 pins difference. It's a very, very close match. Anything can happen now.
And this really happens a lot in big-time competition. The guys struggle, and it seems like you bowl as well as your opposition does in some cases. So if one guy's struggling, the other guy happens to do that as well, and it ends up a question of who picks their wood the best and who picks their spares. Their previous games, they both got good starts, and they ran away and hid, basically. Now it's going to be a real fight because they're both struggling.
Willie needs a spare here.
Willie's wife, Linda, and his father-in-law, Jake Lowen, looking on.
Pretty cool, though, aren't they? Nice pickup.
Ooh, that was close. Again, Willie knew he didn't throw a very good ball. He's got the rubber 3-pin real thin. Let's see. He just about blows by it.
Oh, but a big spare for Willie Orn. And that is in the 7th frame. Now, the 7th frame for Gino Zebarth of Millard, Alberta. 306 in his first match. And I can't believe that. This is impossible to do.
That was a great looking ball that he just left aces on.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable to see the kind of reaction. You see both 3 pins go straight back.
Flew up, too.
Bowling ball nowhere to be found.
Look, he's had head pin, split, split in 4 straight frames. My goodness, what a tough race. Oh, what a spare! Pat Pinko picked that up years ago.
Back up, the pin goes up off the pit cushion and back and takes it out clean. That's just a great pressure shot.
Oh, my goodness.
Gino's made 2 important spares that could be the difference. In the first match, he spared up that head pin split, and actually it ended up leading him to victory because all of a sudden he turned and ran a bunch of strikes. See if that spare on the aces makes a difference in this game.
You're right, Bill. He has pulled off the big shots now. We haven't seen that, as we said, since Pat Pinko a long time ago in the early part of our series. And here again we have a spare. So it can be done, bowlers out there. It can be done.
Sometimes what will happen to a bowler in this situation, Gino's gone 2 head pins in a row, 2 sets of aces, almost like he pulled that to avoid hitting the head pin. Now, they don't do that intentionally, but it sometimes goes through your mind.
Got a spare, though, so he's really scrambling now. He's really working hard. Okay.
It's that kind of a match when it's this close and both players don't seem to be running every strike. Every ball becomes important and the pressure becomes greater.
Willie Orr now in his 8th frame to catch up on Zebarth, and he's working on a spare. He's on the head pin again. This time he got it heavy, but it worked.
And Willie Orr went the first game where he shot 7 strikes. That's his first strike in this game.
It's almost even now. They both have 144 in the 7th for Willie Orr, 145 for Zebarth. And Orr is on a strike, Zebarth's on a spare. This 2 frames now are going to make all the difference. See who goes strong right now.
Willie Orr at this point has the advantage. He's 1 pin down, but he's got a strike working.
Turned away again.
And he doesn't look comfortable up there this game.
Not like he was in the first, where he rolled 366. But it's a possibility of a spare, and he's working on a strike. He still could count pretty well.
Got to take his time and make sure of the spare.
Got it. Yep. Pressure point there because he had to have it. Working on a spare in the 9th, 174 in the 8th, and now it is Zebarth who is working on a spare in his 9th. See what he can do.
And the pressure's on Gino. He needs a strike to retain his 1 pin advantage.
He'll finish off his 2 frames, and that gives Willie Orr a chance to see what he has to do, and that pin stands up, so he doesn't get a big count on his spare.
No, and he looks like he's getting a little bit too much speed up. The ball's not reacting the way it did the first game for him. Again, that one, the ball should have broke into the head pin, but didn't quite get it.
That was almost got a break there. So no fill for him here. Boy, does that put the handle right in there for Willie Orr because he's on a spare. Wow, what a bad break. Not a time to have problems and not hit him whether it's thick in the 9th, which is a very late frame. Picks it all up, though. Total of 180. The best he can do now is 225. And he's still in it. As you can see, Zebarth has 180 in the 9th. He's working on his 10th. At the top, Willie Orr has a spare in the 9th. It's still close depending on what happens here.
He really has to have 3 strikes in a row to finish this game off.
Boy. Now he can only get 30 and finish at 210.
Willie Orr with 174 in the 8th,
all over.
And a spare up in 9.
Mathematically it's not, but it is all over. Especially now, because he can only pick up a total of 15, and he is really upset with himself, and I can understand. He's a very fiery guy, a good guy, and I know he's upset with what he's doing.
Well, he knows the scoreboard, too. If he'd have made a spare and come back with a strike there, he would have forced Willie Orr into having a good 10th frame. Now all Willie's got to do is keep it on the lane, as we said before. Keep it on the lane, stay away from the foul line.
Boy, they both had trouble with corner pins, head pins. Now, all he has to do, hit him with a thick, and he does. I cannot believe what is happening here. Now he has a total of 194, but you know what? If he goes through the hole twice, no, it can't be done. I was going to say that he might have, but that was all over.
And he knew it. Now, you see, if it would go back to Gino's frame, that corner pin miss was critical. In this situation now, he would have had a chance to win it.
And Willie cleans it all up. He can get a head pin. So Willie Orn finishes with a total of 209. A close match from the start, and Willie had to grind it out. Wife Linda is relieved and happy it's over, and Willie is too. Willie was on the head pin all the time with 6 spares and 1 strike plus 2 head pins. Gino couldn't seem to get anything going in the second half, but stayed close. Willie Orn is now in the semifinals as he continues his quest to win a second consecutive title.